Hey everybody, this is Paul. It's right at the beginning of August here, and a few minutes I'm going to connect here with um, my buddy and my partner Don, and we're going to kind of review what's going on in the markets, what we see ahead. I got to tell you that we're working with a little bit of a squirrely connection. Uh, Don is at a remote spot and is doing some vacationing, and the signal is not quite as strong there as it is at his office. You're going to see some start and go, some hesitation like these Zoom things do. And I just wanted to kind of let you know up front, we're aware of it, but having reviewed it, we don't think that it really you're going to miss anything of import as we go through it. And it didn't seem like there was a good way around it to fix it. Otherwise, we would have done that. So we'll go ahead with the quirky video and audio here, and trust you to kind of give us a little kind of leeway here because of where it is. I hope you like the hat. This is my new summer hat. It's all mesh. And I get tired of the caps were getting soaking wet when I work outside. This one's all mesh. So all that heat that I generate can get right up and through. And so anyway, just wanted to let you see it. All right. We'll hit our little intro, and then we'll be back with Don. So there's a cue. Don, good morning to you. Here we are, right at the beginning of August, but right almost at the end of summer. And, just a couple of weeks to go before everybody's not back in school, apparently. And, but time for us to take a quick review of what's happened over the last couple of weeks. And maybe I'm going to ask you to put your wizard hat on and tell us where we're going in the future. How's that sound?
Well, I'll give you a good analogy. I down at the lake, and my wife has a table, and she's got a big puzzle spread out, 1,000 pieces, and it's a picture of umbrellas, orange and green, and then they've got some that are multicolored, and it's pretty confusing. And she's got parts of it put together, and she's got all the colors all around it that she hadn't put together yet. And I said, that's kind of what I do. She said, what do you mean? I said, put puzzles together. And I said, but there's only one difference. I said, yours are static. Ours they're jumping around, changing colors and moving shapes. And so, and that sort of got me thinking about it.
Yeah.
Because you always ask me a question of what I think. And so I put my I don't know hat on, but I do want to say as an old dude that it's important for us as investors to understand it's not going to continue to be as good as it has been in the recent past, because it's just impossible for us to go. I'm going to ask you about the returns over the last month or so, and it's just an impossible thing. So I want to. And I'm talking to myself, I want to manage my expectations.
Mm-hmm.
I want to understand we're going to have some down markets in the future. And like that puzzle, I don't know why. It's going to change colors on us a little bit. And there's a lot of people that are clearly saying, what is it that's so great that's making the market go up? You know what? I don't know. I can name more bad things than I can good, but the characteristic of running an algorithm-driven model is that computer doesn't know who the president is, that we've got a race coming, we've got a virus coming. It deals in raw numbers, and while it's wrong sometimes, it doesn't stay wrong too long. And that's the thing. We all manifest all these short-term things into an outcome. Computer just sits there cool, got a coffee cup out, and just says, well, we'll run the data tomorrow and the next day and the next day. So, but my message to you and to me and to anybody else, let's don't think we're going to make I'll let you deal with the
Okay.
quarterly numbers and the monthly numbers. So
Yeah.
how about that? That's my best 2-minute oration for
That's pretty good. I mean, it's right along the lines of
the day.
what I was opining to you today too. Is just the market is behaving strongly without any good reason, in my view. I can't see anything out there that, I mean, apart from the Fed putting money into this thing like crazy. There's, into the economy. I just cannot see any good reason for, I mean, there's no good news that I can see. So I agree with you. I think managing our expectations is important here. And so, that if I were a younger man and, kind of retained more of my amateur status like I did when I started in this business, 25, 30 years ago, right now I'd be guessing and saying, well, I should lighten up and I should get defensive, and the market's, on a tear, and the S&P's, approaching its, previous high. It's only about 100 points away, and NASDAQ's made a new high. So, I would be saying, this can't go on, so I should get defensive. But I wouldn't get defensive because I wouldn't want to miss out on any of the strength. And then when the time comes, I'd be fully invested and miss it because I wouldn't want to give back anything of what I'd gained, and I'd hang on too long and take too big a hit. So you're right. Algorithmic trading is, kind of takes a look at all that stuff, and we say we don't know where the market's going, so we're going to react to where it is at any given time. We're going to make our decisions on a fairly regular basis, but not too often. We're going to ignore noise, and we're going to try to filter out what is really happening in terms of trend and in terms of volatility, and we're going to manage our portfolio that way. So that's where we're going. Let me give you some numbers here. I'm going to pull them up. I can see them on my screen. You can't see them right now, but the S&P this is the cash index, over the last week was up about 1.5%, and for the month of July about 5.5%. The Nasdaq was up 2.5 last week and about 7.5 for the 7.33 for the month of July. Those are big numbers, I'll tell you what. I mean, those, you extrapolate those and see if you were to compound those out for 12 months. Oh my goodness, you'd be looking at for the month, you'd be looking at somewhere in the 70, 80% for the S&P, and somewhere around probably 96, 100% for the NDX. That's remarkable. Our portfolios did pretty well too. The defensive growth, where we always mention that's where most of our money is. And like I say, the S&P was up 1.5. We were up 1.75 in the model, and month to date, though, we lagged behind a bit. We're only up 3.75, about 3.75 instead of 5.5. But that's, again, we're managing volatility, and upward volatility is volatility just the same. And we actually do filter for that. People ask us why, but we filter for that because things that go up fast come down fast too. So we're typically filtering out those stock issues that are moving up as fast as possible. Looking out year to date, the defensive growth model, we're looking for about 10 to 12% annualized return on that thing. Over the last over year to date, which is really only 7 months at this point, we're looking at 12.75. For the last 12 months, it's between 17 and 18%, depending on when you did your trading. Very, very small drawdown right now. So everything's working like it's supposed to work. It's exactly where we want it to be. It's doing exactly what we want it to do, exactly the way we wanted it to do it. So there's no complaints on my part. I don't know how you feel about watching your portfolio on a day-to-day basis, but it's been fun for me. Even though June and July had some downdrafts, I didn't lose a minute of sleep over it. I don't know about you.
Paul, I think that's the way we built the model from the standpoint of being able to clearly control volatility and to be able to sleep and to feel a level of comfort as we start to need to use these monies or assets for our objectives. In our case, it's probably retirement. Even though I can't imagine me or you retiring. So we'd have to get a real job, then we'd have to go to work. But it's not going to go like this all the time. But let's enjoy it while we can. But let's don't be surprised that if we have a week or a month or something where we have some corrective action. That's just part.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. My dad used to say that retirement, it's not a biblical concept. You can't find it in the Bible. So, except for one place, I pointed out to him. I said, look, there's a place in here where it talks about the temple priests retiring. And he says, he told me, he said, yeah, you figure what they did every day. They had to go in and they had to slaughter and process hundreds and dozens, several hundred sacrificial animals every day. And this is, if you've ever processed a deer, you know that's hard work. That's these guys. They didn't last long in their jobs because they just got beat down. It was hard work. To be a temple priest was a hard work, and the Bible provides for them to be taken care of by the other priests. So he used to say then, but he said, Paul, I haven't been a temple priest, so I'm not going to retire. And he says, you're no temple priest, so he says, I can't retire. And Don, I know you're no temple priest, so I'm telling you, you and I, we can't retire. We're gonna keep working and doing what we're doing, but mostly because we enjoy it. Not because we feel like there's a moral imperative. But you told me take all the time off you want. I'd tackle my honey-do list for about a month, and then be right back in this chair.
Be right back where we belong. So
that's right. Well, I mean, it's because stuff is exciting. I mean,
yeah.
You and I last week we did some number crunching and came up with what we think are some pretty creative ideas for investment advisors. And it's just a creative way of applying the same principles that we're using for our own portfolios and for our subscribers.
Right.
For investment advisors who work with, larger amounts of money and those kinds of things. So, yeah, it's fun. I just love what I do. I can't imagine doing anything else.
Yeah. I do. I have one thing that I'm going to improve. I'm going to get me a fan like yours in the background.
Well, I'll tell you what, that helps. I'm sitting in
because that's
looking at my thermometer.
My
thermostat says it's 80 degrees in here, and I got the air conditioning cranked all the way up, so that fan helps. Yeah.
Well, I hope you have a good week, and I'm sure I'll talk to you in a day or two. We'll have some other bright ideas that we're going to be pinging back and forth at each other, and
absolutely,
I'll look forward to it.
Sounds good, Don. Just try to stay cool and stay healthy for me.
Yes, sir.
All righty.